If you actually want to become a profitable day trader, if that's what God has deemed out for you to be possible, then you will take action upon the things that I've said in this video. Even if you've learned a lot of these concepts and things already, you will take small nits and bits here and go implement these things going forward. I just gave you guys 3 things to do going forward for every single day after this video. If you can't do those 3 things every single day, then never expect to become a profitable day trader. You might as well go find another skill set to learn. I'm so fucking serious. I'm so dead ass when I tell you guys that it is as simple as your daily inputs, focusing on your daily inputs, establishing a relationship with God, back testing every single day, following your system every single day, journaling and reflecting every single day, and educating yourself every single day. YouTube, what is good with y'all boys? I'm back again with another video, and in this one I'll be explaining literally everything that I've learned within day trading to this point, to the T. So this video will be a longer video, but there will be so much sauce in here, going from beginner all the way to advanced tips that will help you progress as a trader. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Dylan. I've been trading for about a year now on NASDAQ futures. I started my journey in about February 2025. Was basically self-taught all the way through, was trading basically discretionarily for majority of my journey. Once I found ICT and actually implemented a strategy and a mechanical entry model between my discretion, that is when I began to see results. However, I was stuck within unprofitability for months on end because I was unable to self-reflect, unable to take action upon the things I know I needed to do, and inevitably that kept me stuck for a long period of time. And so whenever I hit my lowest point, which was about October of 2025, went through so many different battles in my life that I literally got to my lowest point, was on basically my last straw away trading, and I contemplated if trading was even going to be for me anymore at that point. That is when I prayed to God, and I asked God for the guidance in my life and the strength in my life to get through this and to get to the next point. And literally that next month, I was blessed with 2 payouts for about $8,000 in total from Top Step, and I've been profitable ever since that day. Ever since that month, I've been profitable. And so it's really all glory to God that I've got to the position where I'm at now. Literally got payouts every single month since then, consistently from trading my model. And so I completely understand where a lot of you guys are at in the unprofitable phase, trying to learn the information, soak in the information, and that is what this video is for. And so now I've made it to the point now to where I'm basically full-time trading. I have my business that I run on the side. That is my service business that I run on the side. So I wake up, I trade, and then I literally have the day to do whatever I please. I make videos for you guys. I hit the gym. I indulge in hobbies. I work on my business to keep me busy. I'm also in school as well. So I just keep myself busy outside of trading. But the main thing that this skill set will grant you when you master it is just freedom. It gives you freedom in your life to do as you please, when you want, and how you want, without having to cater to anybody else. And that is the biggest blessing about trading, is that even though when you learn another skill like a business or a side hobby or whatever it is, whatever other skill set you want to learn in this world, to make money, it typically takes a lot of time. With trading, whenever you master it, it doesn't take a lot of time to make the money, if that makes sense. And then it gives you that financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom that no other businesses will give you. So basically how I'll be structuring this video is it'll start from beginner things all the way to advanced things to kind of make the transition easier for you guys specifically. So the first thing will be actually how to get into day trading. And so when you're approaching day trading, when you see it online and you want to get into it, there's typically a few ways you can go about it. This is the best way I would recommend for anybody that's watching this that's completely new, that wants to learn the best way to get through day trading. Number one is, who will you learn from? I recommend learning from 1 or 2 people max. I recommend people like TJR, Trades by Sai, ICT Mentorship, PB Blake, anybody in that realm right there, like the higher ups within the space. Those will be the best people to reach out to. I mean, not to reach out to watch in your journey and to follow their steps. Because the reason you want to simplify who you're learning from is because if you start learning from too many people, you'll start learning different concepts and stuff like that, and it will inevitably fuck you up in the long run. So learning from one person, learning the similar concepts, you want to learn ICT concepts, you want to learn support and resistance, you want to learn supply and demand, you want to learn about these concepts, understand the grasp of trading, but also understand just basic market structure, candles, wicks, price action, volume, movement, everything like that you want to understand on a surface level. And also make sure you are journaling and taking note of all these things so this information actually sticks for the long run. Second thing you want to do while you're learning this information is actually start demo trading. And so to demo trade, I'll show you right here. So the first thing you want to do is go to a website called Genesis FX. It'll look something like this whenever you open it and sign up. And to make a demo account, you're going to click Trade Locker right here. Click new account, and right here it'll say live. You want to switch this to demo. You can name this whatever. I just put my name right there, and then you just use GenFX as the account type, and then keep the leverage as it is, and then do your demo size as a $50,000 demo account. So what you do is you'll click create account, and in this way you'll be able to start your demo trading account. And so in order to actually trade this, they'll send you your credentials to your email. You're gonna have to download the Trade Locker app, or if you're on a computer, you can use the Trade Locker website. And from there, you can actually place trades on a demo account. All right, so the last thing that you want to do in this phase is look for a mentor. So within mentoring, you want to look for people that you aspire to be like, that have a proven track record within trading. You want to have a mentor that has proven payouts, proven results from the students that they work with, and that you somewhat relate to, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be paying somebody to work with them, you want to at least relate with them and, kind of relate with or connect with them on a deeper level, like past trading. That would be my best advice. Mentoring will for real scale you up to a faster degree in which you can achieve on your own, because you will be able to jump cut through a lot of mistakes that a lot of people have made, that you'll be able to learn and overcome at a lot quicker rate, while also having the accountability and the helping hand in your journey to go through the right things instead of taking the wrong path a million times to find the right path, if that makes sense. So mentoring inevitably will help you scale up quicker, help you get to where you need to get to at a quicker rate. Yes, it does cost money, but it is an investment that if you have the money to make, that it will, and inevitably if you put in the inputs, it will pay off in the long run, times 10, times 20, infinitely scalable from there. So after you go through this step where you start learning about trading, you start educating yourself, you start demo trading, and you seek mentorship and or guidance, the next thing that you want to do is find a strategy that you will trade and stick to the strategy. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've seen a lot of traders that try to strategy hop and end up frying themselves, taking themselves months back trying to strategy hop because they seen somebody bottom and top ticking on Instagram or TikTok. Or they see this dude making a lot of money on the P&L trading ICT. Or they see this dude trading supply and demand making a lot of money. They see this person trading EMA and VWAP and all that shit, and they see people making money on that end. At the end of the day, within trading, the biggest thing that you have to understand, especially early on, is that no matter what you do, you can make money. There's people that literally make money that trade completely discretionarily. They don't even have a mechanical system. I got one of my payouts just off complete discretion. You feel me? So like, there's people that make money without a mechanical system, and there's a lot of people that make money with mechanical systems and different mechanical systems, IFVGs, like I said, VWAP, all these different types of things that you'll see. You'll see a lot of people making money. The biggest thing that will slow you down is utilizing social media and seeing that other people are making money in that essence, so you try to copy their strategy to get their results. But inevitably, that's not how it works, because you don't see the hours that was put behind backtesting that strategy. You don't see the failure that was put behind live testing that strategy. You don't see the continuous refinement, journaling, and improvising on a day-to-day basis that inevitably got them to making that money that you're now seeing the end result from. So, knowing that, the easiest way you can go about trading, especially when starting off, is quite literally finding whatever strategy makes the most sense to you, whether it's ICT, whether it's VWAP, whether it's supply and demand, support and resistance, top and bottom ticking, whatever it is. Find the strategy that makes the most sense to you, learn that shit, and stick with it. Do not switch it up. Don't switch it after you have a red week. Don't switch it after a few red days or losing trades or whatever you want to call it. Do not switch it up, because inevitably, over time, building discretion within that strategy and building experience within that one strategy that you've been learning since you started trading is what's going to help you become a profitable trader more quicker, because you actually understand what you're looking for and what you're trading. If you go your first 3 months learning one strategy and then you try to switch at month 3 to another strategy for the next 3 months, then you're basically restarting back at ground zero, because now you have to relearn everything that you just learned from month 0 to 3. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. So just understanding that will scale you up so much. And it is a mistake that I even made too, because even if you watch my old Instagram videos or YouTube videos or whatever, I used to trade support and resistance. When I very first got into trading, I traded support and resistance. I traded that shit for I would say 7 months. I traded that shit, probably even a little bit more. And then I found ICT and found my mechanical edge, found a system that works for me, and I've been sticking to it, and I've become consistently profitable from trading that model. So again, find your strategy, stick with it. Don't do nothing else. Now, when you're going from demo accounts to now going on to evaluations, the biggest thing that you want to see within your demo trading is consistency. It doesn't have to be a crazy P&L on those 50K demo accounts, but you want to see consistency. You want to see the same trades being taken over again. You want to see consistency in the amount of trades that you're taking. You want to see consistency in the amount that you're risking per day, like your losing days, your red days, and you want to see consistency in your P&L. You want to see a green P&L to know you're profitable over a certain amount of time. Typically, I say demo trade for a minimum of about 3 weeks to a month. Some people say shorter, some people say longer. There's really no right or wrong in this specific situation. The reason you want to start off at about a month is because that will give you a good enough sample size to really see if you have what it takes. If you can't even demo trade for a month, then you don't have what it takes to go to eval yet, in my opinion, because you're gonna rush the process. You're gonna go into eval already thinking about making the money that quick because you switch from demo to eval within a flip. That you're not gonna be in the right cycle. It's just gonna fry you up. It's gonna fry you in the long run. So the best thing that you can do is actually go from demo after a month of consistency, after a month of having a full calendar of trading, that you can literally go and see, okay, I did this, this, and this. Then you can go to evaluation. So when it comes to actual prop firm accounts, the best prop firm I recommend right now is Lucid Trading. And if you guys have been following me for some time, I used to recommend Top Step 100%. I used to recommend that shit heavy, actually. But the reason I recommend Lucid the most right now is because they're a very nice up and coming trading company. I didn't use them at first because they didn't have TradeZ, and you had to trade on TradingView, which I don't like doing. But now they have a platform called TradeZ, which is basically like Project X or TopStep. Basically, all it is a very simple trading platform that allows you to have risk settings in place and a lockout system in place. So with those two things, it makes it very easy for beginners to hop on there and to keep their psychology in check. So with prop firms, all a prop firm is you spend a small amount of money to get access to a large amount of fake capital. Now, with that fake capital that these prop firms give you, you can take this fake capital and trade with it to then make real money sent to your bank account. Now, obviously, there's things that you have to do and requirements you have to make to get to them. And so with that, all you have to do is pass an evaluation. So an evaluation is basically like a test account. What you're going to do is buy the evaluation. It's going to be a test to see, okay, you have to make this amount of money. And then once you pass this test, then everything you make past that is money you can withdraw to your bank account. So a lot of these prop firms, whether it's TopStep, Lucid Trading, Tradeify, all these other ones, they usually have evaluation accounts. And on these evals, they'll have rules that you can see here. I'm not going to go too in depth into this stuff, but you can see that the rules on these 50K flex eval accounts, which in my opinion are the best accounts out right now, you have a 50% consistency rule and a 3K profit target, meaning that you have to hit a balance of $53,000 from the $50,000. You have to basically make 3K in order to pass the account. Now, with the consistency rule, that means you can't make more than 50% of your target in one given trading day. So that means today, if I traded, the most I should make is $1,500. That means the second day that I trade, the most I should make is, again, $1,500. And since you add that 1,500 plus 1,500, then at the second day, you'll have 3K and you'll pass your evaluation account. So it's very simple, but a lot of newer traders take it a little bit slower. You know, for me, since I'm a little bit more experienced, I can kind of get through these accounts within a few days, if not a day. So that's my best recommendation for that. And then with the platform, when you're buying an account right here, you're going to click TradeZ or Arithmetic Data, and it's called TradeZ. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type in Vault, and it'll automatically give you the best discount code. And I believe these accounts are about $70 right now. Yeah, so $70 right now for a Lucid Trading account is absolutely the best prop firm in the game. So now when you buy the account, it's going to log you into a platform like this, which is called TradeZ. Let me delete this trade that I didn't even take. But so this is what the TradeZ platform will look like when you actually get onto the charts. And so as you can see, it's a very simple platform. It reminds me a lot of Project X. The reason why I like this prop firm a lot, again, is because of the lockout feature. So you can see this lockout feature. I'm locked out, so I literally cannot take any trades. You want to be using and utilizing the hell out of these lockout features because this will save you so much as a trader. A lot of the times we cannot rely on sheer discipline to get us to where we want to go as a trader. So what's the best way to go about this? Is by using the lockout feature, because then we literally have no choice but to follow our rules and our guidelines on a day-to-day basis. And so the next thing that it has as well is this risk settings feature right here. And so in this risk settings feature right here, you can do a risk in and profit in. So all this means is that when you enter a trade, let's say I click buy on a trade, the amount that I'll risk will automatically be set at the amount that I put here. So I'll just put 500 and I'll put 1,000 here, a 1 to 2 RR. So basically, when I enter my trade, my SL is going to be set at 500 and my TP is going to be set at 1,000 immediately when I enter the trade. The best thing about these accounts, though, is the personal daily loss limit, which I usually set at $500. And for the action, when that amount gets hit, I put liquidate and block. So what this means is that when you take a trade or any amount of trades, whenever your P&L on that day hits $500 in drawdown, so negative $500, your account will close for the day and you have to wait till the next trading day to take another trade. So I like this a lot because it keeps you disciplined. It keeps you not wanting to take bad setups, but it also keeps your risk managed. At the end of the day, the biggest thing that I've seen within trading, at least from my experience, has been your ability to manage risk, because you will have red days in trading, but if you let those red days crash out and you blow your account on those red days, you're never going to be able to see the green days after that. You feel me? So for sure, lucid trading, TradeC, beautiful. I like the risk settings feature. That it makes the most sense. This is the best way that I'd go about trading these evaluation accounts. Now, in order to actually pass these evaluation accounts, like I said, you just have to make $1,500 to pass the accounts. And so my best strategy for you guys to pass these accounts, especially these 50K Lucid Flex accounts, the best way I'd go about it is risk $500 on one trade to make 1.5K on that trade. So you take a 1 to 3 RR. You can size this accordingly to whatever makes sense for you specifically, but I'm saying for me specifically, from what I've seen from my experience, risking $500 to make 1.5K typically is the best way to go about passing these accounts, because you're risking a fourth year drawdown to make a half of your profit target. You feel me? So if you hit 2 trades in a row, you're already passed. But let's say you lose the first trade, right? You lose $500. Well, if you take another trade for $500 to then make 2K, then immediately if you hit that 2K trade, then you're back at halfway pass, but you're still risking the $500. So in my opinion, it gives you about 4 good trades to take before you blow the account if you were to lose all 4 trades in a row. But if you're losing 4 trades in a row, then you might need to work on a strategy or something else along the lines of what you're trading. So I hope this kind of helps. Again, Lucid Trading is a very good broker for you guys to work with. I'm not even affiliated with them at all, but I definitely think that they're pretty much the best in the game at the current moment. But at this point in my trading journey, I would make it an emphasis to actually join a community. The reason I say join a community is because it will give you accountability, it will give you guidance. You'll feel welcome around other people, other traders that are all in line with the thing that you're wanting to achieve as well. The biggest thing that I missed out on when I was starting to learn how to trade is actually having people around me that I was growing and learning with at the time. So really, I didn't really have anybody that was holding me accountable until about, I would say like 6 months through my trading journey. Like, so the first 6 months of my trading journey was pretty much just soloing this shit. And it was very hard because I didn't have accountability, didn't really know what I was doing, I didn't have anybody I could relate to for real. So it was just kind of just me versus the market. But now what I've done for you guys, if you guys aren't already in my Discord, I made a free Discord for you guys that you guys can just go and join. I'll have the link in the bio for you guys as well. You can see the profits on the days as well. People getting payouts in the payout section as well. Funded accounts, market analysis. I trade live for free every single day in here as well, and I announce any new updates in the Discord and this channel as well. So not even it's a promo, but if you guys genuinely want help and you want to be in the community, I definitely recommend you guys join that in the bio. At this point within your trading journey, you have learned how to demo trade. You have now got to the evaluation phase. You've now maybe seeked a mentor, or you've got into a Discord to have a community around you and accountability. So now what's the next step after this to continue scaling and getting past where you currently are within the trading space? Is start to refine your strategy and refine your edge, because once you're able to get from demo to evaluation, you want to make sure your edge is very proven and very niche. And so if you guys want a strategy to trade, my strategy is very, very, very simple. And so what I look for within my strategy is, number one, I look at what the higher time frame is doing. I get context on the higher time frame as to what we're doing. So we can see that the 4 hour, we're rejecting from this 4 hour fair value gap right here, leading us to being bullish on the day. You can see we're making these higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. So we have we have bearish order flow on the higher time frame, meaning that shorts is a lot more likely in this position at market open right here. So you can see that we have this 15-minute fair value gap now that we have displaced into. And if you're not familiar with fair value gaps, if you're not familiar with these PD arrays, go watch the ICT mentorship. It's on YouTube. It's completely for free. It will help you out a lot. But again, for the sake of this video, I can only put so much information in here to keep things moving. But we're coming into market open, we tap into this 15-minute fair value gap. We do have a high that's above us that hasn't been swept that we can watch to see how we react of. But the main thing that I want you to realize within my strategy is that, number one, you want to understand what the higher time frame is doing. So we know we are in bearish order flow on the higher time frame. And number two, we want to identify the best draws on liquidity. So for me, I use this indicator called ICT kill zones right here. It's called ICT kill zones by TFO, and it is the best indicator on the charts because it immediately will mark out session highs down here and session lows right here. Our session highs and then session lows, my bad. So Asia low and London lows are sitting right below us. We have them both stacked right here. And all this means is that as a draw on liquidity, it's like a magnet in the market. The market moves in liquidity and orders. So in order for us to go take out liquidity, we must have to manipulate something, and then we'll get the orders to go fill all this sell side liquidity that's resting below us right here. So now at this point, all we wait for is some type of confirmation out of this 15-minute fair value gap. And by confirmation, you want to see some type of rejection out of it. All right, so if we skip ahead a little bit, you can see that now we have our flip outside of the 15-minute or outside of the 15-minute fair value gap. The main thing I want you guys to be aware of right here is these fair value gaps that are stacked under us right here. So if we scale back up to the 15-minute, we have stacked fair value gaps that are below us that we want to see disrespected in order for us to get confirmation to this London low and inevitably the Asia low as the drawn liquidity. So at this point, we are now getting confirmation outside of this 15-minute fair value gap that this is holding and that we can now short to this London low. So ideally for the indication as far as entry, we want to be entering off of an inverse fair value gap. So the best way to explain it is we have this fair value gap that's right here. Once this fair value gap that's right here gets closed through, once we see it close through this fair value gap, then we know that we have bearish order flow that is an indication that we can short the market with all the confluences aligned behind it. So I'll just mark this out as a 5-minute fair value gap, and I'll just turn off my indicator right here, just like this. So we have this 5-minute fair value gap, and we'll enter this fair value gap. We'll enter this trade once the 5-minute fair value gap gets inversed, and boom, just like that, we have the 5-minute inverse fair value gap now. So now instead of it being a fair value gap, we have an inverse fair value gap that we enter off of. We enter off of the close on that position. We could put stops at this swing high right here, and we could go target London lows as our primary draw on liquidity, getting a very nice 1 to 2 RR. So ideally, the best way to trade this is to understand higher time frame context. Are we bearish or bullish on the higher time frame? Are we rejecting or displacing out of any fair value gaps on the higher time frame that leads us to know if we're bullish or bearish? And then once we have the higher time frame context, we scale down to the lower time frame, get a similar rejection out of the 15-minute as well, and then we get our lower time frame inversion, targeting the drawn liquidity that's resting below us, which in this case is this London low right here. And I'll go ahead and just mark this out as London low as well. What I want you guys to pay attention to when I start taking this trade is that we go break even. We can always go break even at a mechanical level, like just like a random swing high or swing low, like maybe this level right here, or you want to go break even at this level right here. Somewhere within this range, you'll ideally want to go break even. For me, what I do is I actually wait to see how the trade plays out, and then I go break even discretionarily. So I'll let this play out. I didn't watch this trade, so I don't even know if this will play out. We'll see. Okay, boom, there's our retrace. So now what I'll do in this situation is if market comes back to this point right here, then I'll go break even, if that makes sense. Because at this point, when we make, if we just think about basic market structure, right here, when we have this swing low, swing high, and then if we break this swing low right here, where ideally I have my break even at, then ideally if market comes below this level right here, then we shouldn't return back to my entry up here, and I can have a protected break even at an internal swing low that we made in the trade, if that makes sense. So I would ideally go break even right here at this swing low, the same way we're doing right here once market comes back down. So at the current moment, I won't go break even. I'll stay in the trade as is, and we'll see how this plays. So we get that nice rejection of that 5-minute, boom. Again, we tap into it again. We didn't get the close though. Come back up a little bit more. Kind of start rejecting that 5-minute once again. And now you can see how everything starts to line up, because now in this trade specifically, we also have a 5-minute fair value gap right here that is also holding price down, which means our stop loss is also protected at the swing high, plus has the fair value gap in it that's protecting us. So again, to reiterate, we have the 5-minute inverse fair value gap right here for entry. We have the drawn liquidity of London lows. We have the break even at an internal swing level, and we have the 5-minute fair value gap that holds our stop loss at a protected level, because even though price retraced here, this 5-minute fair value gap is protecting us from price just completely running higher. Obviously, there will be situations in which price will continue to displace higher, but it gives you a lot more assurance in the trade. So at this point, once we get this close below here, we can now go break even in a situation like that. And at this point, we should go and hit full TP, which we did right there. So again, just a picture perfect setup of what you guys want to be looking for on a day-to-day basis. If you want more in-depth sauce on the strategy that I actually trade and the strategy that I teach. I have it in my free Discord. I also have it on my YouTube channel as well. You guys can go watch it. I'll have it linked above for you guys as well. The biggest step for you guys will to be learning a strategy and sticking to that strategy. And for me, I can literally teach the strategy like the back of my hand now because I've traded it so many times to this point. Now, the next thing that you guys will need to understand, especially learning trading throughout the process, is understanding when not to take a trade. So you can see that I went over example of a picture perfect setup to actually take in the live market. But the best thing that you guys will want to learn is when to actually not take a setup. And so right here, I just have the days of the week marked out that we are available to trade on. And I kind of wanted to go through each and every day for you guys very briefly so you understand that my thought process behind these days. So from my 1 year of experience within trading, I have seen that Mondays and Fridays are typically the more passive, choppier, slower days to trade, especially if we have no news. And so to know if we have news or not, you guys want to go to forexfactory.com. Right here, it's called Forex Factory right here. You just click Forex Factory, and then immediately what you want to do is scroll down here, check off everything besides USD, and then do red news folders right there. And then you want to click today, click this week, click apply, and then you'll see all the news for this upcoming week. So typically only red folders is really the only thing that moves the market. As you can see, we have no news this week. But in an example, like let's say last week as well, where we have news Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, these days will be very good days to trade because we know there's going to be a lot of volatility and volume in the market with news being released on these days. Monday and Friday, again, are days that we rarely have news on, and especially the days that we have no news are the days that you guys want to be avoiding. So for me, Mondays and Fridays, I typically go for my winning days on my funded accounts, which I'll go over a little bit later in this video. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the days that you want to be more aggressive with your trades. The reason being is because you want to be able to capitalize on the good price action that the market will give us instead of being passive on the days that we have, instead of being aggressive on the days that have bad price action. And so for me, a lot of my losses actually came from days in which I was being aggressive and taking trades on days that just genuinely were as price action, like just bad price action. But on the days where we had good price action, I was also capitalizing because I was able to understand my system a lot more, take a lot of cleaner setups, and they would play out a lot higher rate than they would me trying to force setups on the Monday and the Friday, if that makes sense. So being aware of this will help you so much as a trader, understanding when not to trade. And honestly, the best teacher in this experience is experience, because through repetition, discretion, backtesting, and live testing, you will understand what days are more probable for your strategy and what days aren't. So even for me, it might be different for you. You feel me? But for sure, Mondays and Fridays are typically more slower. These are typically the days you'll see a lot of like the pro traders not even getting on the charts because they even know that these days are less probable conditions for your strategy no matter what you're trading. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, again, you want to take full advantage of the market because these will be the best days to utilize. Now that you have actually learned a strategy and built a system within your trading, you will start to understand through time that this skill set will start to be built upon day by day. The biggest thing you want to understand, especially in the beginning, is understanding that trading won't make you money yet. It won't make you money now. It might not make you money for the next year. But if you learn the skill set and focus on just mastering the skill set, mastering yourself throughout this journey, then you're going to in turn become a much better person off the charts as well as on the charts. And inevitably, when you become a better trader on the market, then you will start to get paid from trading on a consistent basis. And that is exactly how I got to where I'm at now and exactly how you guys can do the same. So now, the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of traders make within this journey, and this is honestly one of the best parts of the video, is number one, that a lot of traders will start taking every setup that presents. And so when they learn a strategy, they'll learn the strategy to learn the mechanical edge. Let's say you're learning IFVGs, right? Now a lot of traders will go into the market and they will start trading every IFVG setup that they see. Oh, 1 minute here, 1 minute here, 2 minute here, 3 minute here, 4 minute here, 1 minute here. You know what I'm saying? They start getting overloaded with all of these entries that fit their mechanical checklist. But the thing you have to apply behind that is the confluences and the context and the discretion that you've learned within the market. And so a lot of these things, especially, confluence is more mechanical, but discretion and live trading, those are things that are only gained with time. And so you want to be very passive on the amount of trades that you are taking. You want to limit them to the best setups possible, because as you know already, not every setup is as high quality as the A plus setup. So ideally, what you want to do is just wait for the highest quality setup. Do not force bad setups in when you're learning a strategy, because then you're going to fry yourself. You're going to fry your pin, you're going to fry your confidence. It's just going to cook you completely, as opposed to just waiting for the best setups possible and taking the best setups possible, learning from them, and then from there you can build confidence in taking lower quality setups depending on the discretion. And so all discretion is basically intuition in the market. You've seen something play out so many times from experience that you feel 100% confident in taking that setup, because you've seen it happen so many times that it's literally engraved into your head that you know when market does this, you react this way, and vice versa. That's all discretion is. So you want to build discretion over time. The easiest way to build discretion is literally showing up every day, regardless of if you're trading or not. And number two is just journaling. So on days that you are trading or aren't trading, you want to also be journaling and reflecting, because through journaling and reflection, you'll see exactly what you're doing wrong on a day-to-day basis, know how to improve upon those things that you're doing wrong. And then the biggest thing from journaling you want to take is actually taking action the next day to get better from those things that you know you should be getting better on. So for instance, for me, I had an overtrading problem. How do I fix overtrading problem? Locking out my risk settings and locking my contract size, so I can only take one contract on my trades, and I can only take one trade per day. If I lock my risk settings before trading, then by the time I get onto the charts, I literally have no option but to follow my rules on the charts. So it makes it very easy to become a profitable day trader when you literally have no choice but to follow your system on a day-to-day basis. And that's exactly why I preach Top Step and I preach Lucid Trading, because they have in-house risk settings features that literally help you become a more better trader. And ever since I used these features, it has literally exponentially scaled my trading on a day-to-day, month-to-month basis. Next thing you want to basically avoid is not journaling. And so it kind of ties in with the first point, but not journaling is honestly the thing that slowed down the beginning of my trading process big time, because I didn't start journaling until about like 5 months into trading. And that was basically just 5 months of me just free balling and gambling the market without any true pure edge in the market. A lot of people journal, but they don't journal in the correct way. I'm not going to go too in depth into it in this video, because I have videos on all these different things. I'll link my journaling video above as well for you guys as well, with my template and everything like that. But I'll pull it up for the sake of this video so you guys can see that as well. So with my trading journal, which you guys can see right here, you guys can see I literally have every single setup that I've taken in the last months on end, all journaled here. And so the biggest thing that you want to see here with your journals is you want to see that all your trades look the same. You want to, number one, see that all your trades look similar. You want to journal your thought process going into the trade, while you're in the trade, where your drawn liquidity was. You want to target all these different analytics, like mistakes you made, drawn liquidity, outcome if you won or lost, grading the trade. All these things matter so much within trading. And when you start to journal your trades every single time, even if you won or lost, you will start to see what you did good and what you have to do better at going forward. And when you understand that, then it will help you become and progress as a better trader every single day. Even for me, in a more recent example, right, I noticed that sometimes when I was taking inversions at the close, my RR would be completely fried because of how strongly we were closing. And so now what I do is I've actually built discretion to take some inversion plays before the close, which you can see here now, to get a better RR, have my RR at a swing high, which is more protected, get a better RR to the drawn liquidity, and make more money and risking less, as opposed to risking more and making less. You get what I'm saying? So for me, now it makes a lot more sense to catch a 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. You know what I'm saying? If I can get in a little bit before the inversion. And then now I'm using the inversion as confirmation for the trade to the drawn liquidity. Does that make sense? So again, these are just small things that you will pick up on from journaling, from reflection, from continuously applying yourself every single day on the market. That discretion and market experience will be the only teacher in this specific situation. At the end of the day, the biggest teacher is always going to be the market. No video you watch, even if you sit through and watch this entire video, you watch millions of other videos, you watch all the mentorship videos, you join Discords, you do whatever you can on an input standpoint to learn trading, No amount of inputs that you make to learn and educate yourself within trading will ever equate to the amount that you can learn from actual chart time and experience through these different things. All mentors and guidance and discords and videos and all those things will do is give you the path, but when you take that path, there will still be curves and rocks and bumps along the way to success, if that makes sense. So understand that you can soak this information as education is very good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but understand that the biggest teacher for you will be back testing, forward testing, and live testing in the market, being on the charts, being in the market, identifying what concepts we're talking about, identifying winning setups and losing setups, journaling winning setups and losing setups, inevitably will get you to where you want to go. The next thing that I have for you guys, as far as a mistake that you guys are still making, is strategy hopping. We already went over this as well. All strategy hopping will do is backtrack your success within trading instead of fast tracking your success, which inevitably you think that you're doing. But I already talked about this earlier, so I'm not going to go too in depth into it. And the biggest mistake that I see a lot of new traders make is not submitting the process to God. And it's a very deep topic to talk about, and we can ramble about this for a long time. But the biggest thing that I've seen with profitable day traders, especially myself and a few other people that I know, is that they submitted the process to God. They no longer were rushing the process to make money, but they were following the process to follow in God's footsteps. If you're religious or not, I definitely understand. But when you start following in God's footsteps within trading and you align yourself with what the man above has said for you and set out for you to have, a lot of these things then become a lot better for you because God gives you the strength, He gives you the discipline, He gives you the courage in these trades, and He gives you the blessings of learning whether it's a win or a loss at the end of the day. And understanding that it's His process and not your process will inevitably help you slow down, accept whatever outcome that you had, and move on and learn and get better, because that is how God wants us to improve. So understanding that, submitting to His process, and being around other Christ-minded day traders will help you succeed at a lot higher rate than anything else that you can do. And so to wrap up this video, I know this video is getting kind of long now. There's 3 action steps that I want you guys to take after clicking off of this video. Number 1 is for the next 30 days only, I want you to be focused on taking 1 setup per day. Not 1 trade per day, but taking the same setup every single day. All your executions to look somewhat similar. Obviously not all the confluences may align, but I want you to focus on taking 1 specific setup every single day. Number 2, I want you to journal every single one of those setups. So now that you've seen the strategy, you've seen the setups you should be taking, you also seen the way you should be journaling and how to journal, you should be implementing that and journaling every single day. It doesn't take a lot of time, and if you're consistent with it, then you will see the results. And number 3 will be for you to backtest daily. Backtest every single day. I recommend using TradeZilla or FX Replay. These are the best backtesting softwares out, and they make it very easy for you to go through and backtest and improve your edge over time. And so before I end this video, I will preface this with saying that everything that I've just said in this video is information that you can soak. Now, when you click off of this video, there'll be 2 options that you can take going forward. One option is what the unprofitable day traders will do, and the second option is what going to be the profitable day traders will do. If you want to stay unprofitable, you will click off of this video, not take any notes, and not take action on any of the things that I just said. If you actually want to become a profitable day trader, if that's what God has deemed out for you to be possible, then you will take action upon the things that I've said in this video. Even if you've learned a lot of these concepts and things already, you will take small nits and bits here and go implement these things going forward. I just gave you guys 3 things to do going forward for every single day after this video. If you can't do those 3 things every single day, then never expect to become a profitable day trader. You might as well go find another skill set to learn. I'm so fucking serious. I'm so dead ass when I tell you guys that it is as simple as your daily inputs, focusing on your daily inputs, establishing a relationship with God, backtesting every single day, following your system every single day, journaling and reflecting every single day, and educating yourself every single day. And when you do those things all the time, consistently, then and only then will you see the results that you want to achieve. And in all honesty, trading did really change how I think about life. It changed not only how I think about money, and the market actually exposed my weaknesses with discipline, courage, consistency, and I had to fix those things inevitably to become a profitable day trader. And so inevitably, if you can master yourself, master your emotions, master your discipline, then you can master this skill set of day trading. The biggest mistake you guys can make is trying to do this alone. So if you guys want to join my free Discord, I'll have it in the bio. And if you guys want to work one-on-one, I'll have a link in the description for you to apply to as well. As always, make sure you guys are keeping God first. If you have any questions, comment them down in the comment section. And I pray that this is the best day trading video that I've made for you guys to this point. You guys stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.